culture.
I don't. No, I don't.
I heard you cop the Tyler Hero snarl t-shirt.
All right, so everybody who hears this knows we are talking about Brian Fonseca's Miami Heat. They are at 43.5 wins, according to BetMGM. Brian, what is your team going to do this year? Let us know. What's your pick?
43.5, which means if I went even slightly over, it would be 44 and 28, if my math is correct. So with Miami, I'm making love to the over. I'm letting you know right now. I'm straight up like, listen, this team is deeper than people expect or people think, especially as it relates to last season where, people were just like, oh, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, and Jimmy Butler's fucking stupid because he, went to a team that, didn't make the playoffs last year and all this bullshit, and then they ended up going to the NBA Finals. They're just going to figure it out. They have KZ Okpala, who is dangerous, and people don't know about him, and they just kept him with a sore Achilles out all last season, and he's going to be super impactful right away. They got a two-way Max Struss, who's kind of like Duncan Robinson 2.0. It's ridiculous. Like, they're going to be over, and they might go to the NBA Finals again.
Wow.
Right?
Does anybody want to tell Brian to calm down? It's not going to be me. So who's going to tell Brian to calm down?
All I'm going to say is I will take the over. I think it's a stay away, though, not because I don't think anything Brian said was true. That's all very true. What concerns me about them is the short turnaround from going to the finals at the end of last season, going into this season. And because notoriously how the Heat like to work their players from a physical standpoint. They are always the most well-conditioned team in the league, all that, and I love it. However, there comes a tax and a price at some end, right? And is Spo and really the godfather Pat Riley willing to take their foot off the gas a little bit to make sure that your guys are healthy for the back end of the season, right? This is a lot of high-level basketball in a condensed, compressed amount of time. They're excellent. Would it shock me if they go back to the finals? No. But if they didn't, it also wouldn't shock me there as well. So I like the over, but it's a stay away from me.
What about you, Murph? Are you staying away on this one, or is this something you would bet with the Miami Heat?
No, I would definitely take this. I'll go strong over 43.5, that 44 and 28. Remember, this is an experienced team. Again, they're another team that's building off of the momentum of the bubble. They have great chemistry. Most of their guys are coming back. They have a great culture, as we all know. So I think, this kind of season with COVID and a lot of unknowns, Miami is not one of those unknowns. I mean, they should be they're very mature team. They're going to do everything to stay healthy too, to avoid getting COVID, which is another thing we should probably talk about. Teams that we would have issues with in that area, but also the improvement of Bam, Hero, and Duncan. I think that that goes without saying. Those guys are going to improve. So I would go strong on the over here. I think they'll have a great regular season.
So, Murph, you hit on a lot of things that I actually like, too, with this Heat team. I'm taking the over. I love this number for Miami. Maybe not as much as Brian loves it, but I do love it here, right? And I think a lot of it has to do with something you said, Murph, continuity. There's a lot of people doubting this team. There's a lot of people, you look, and we'll get into this with the odds. A lot of the odds for this team to make the finals is lower than somebody who was a finalist last year, which would maybe make them a good bet. But in terms of the over-under for wins, I like them here. I like the continuity of this team. I think that matters in the season. I think Bam Adebayo is going to take the next step. I like what I've seen out of him in preseason, along with Tyler Hero. So this is one I would take, man. I would absolutely take this one. I'm going to take the over. It wouldn't shock me if Miami was top 2 or 3 in the East. All right, we're going to keep it to another team in the Southeast Division. That is the Charlotte Hornets. Yes, we are actually talking about the Charlotte Hornets.